West Virginia keeps climbing the transfer ranks, man. I look today, they were in the top 10. Richrod's cooking, baby.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Thank you guys for joining in on the late night edition. I almost didn't do an episode today, but you guys know, man, I got this streak going 7 days a week. I just can't stop. And it gets, I just get so antsy if I don't do one. It's just the way it is. Appreciate you guys for joining in. And I see you there first, Eric. I appreciate you. WFEH Hardcore, I appreciate you. Ron Graw, what's up, man? What's up, guys? Thank you for joining in. Listen, it's a slow news day. That's a big reason why I haven't done anything yet. And obviously I pushed it to the last very possible minute. I'm actually 10 o'clock's a little bit too late, honestly. If you're talking about trying to, get the most bang for your buck because, like on YouTube, views wise and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad I just got on here, Chad. So, got to looking at it and I'd seen somebody post something about it the other day. It may have been Bomb. Somebody posted something about West Virginia being inside the top 10 on Rivals. I did a show about it, how they were approaching that about a week or two ago, how they were coming close, and now they went past it and beyond it. And it's kind of comical when you look at it. Like when you look at this list, West Virginia is just so different. And maybe this is a good thing, but West Virginia is so much different than everybody else on the list. And it's not even close. Not even a little bit. So let's jump in there and check it out really quick as we share a screen. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia, first of all, guys. Your very first listen. I'm sure you've listened to other things today, but just in case, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, for being an everyday listener to this show / podcast. So we talk about the Mountaineers every single day around here, and that's just what we do, and that's what we want to do. We don't want it any other way. You could put LSU in front of me, I'd turn it down. You could put Bama in front of me, I'd turn it down. It's not where my heart's at. My heart's in the state of West Virginia. It's just a fact. Going to be brought to you by Monarch Money, guys. We love talking about Monarch Money because if you ever want to take control of your finances with Monarch Money, you can use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order, guys. Okay. So let's share a screen first with Rivals. I think that's the place to start here. As I got so many screens open because we're going to be watching some tape today, guys. On today's show, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this top 10 thing. Who are some underrated players that West Virginia signed in the transfer portal? And we're going to look at just some players that got some tape out there that I'm excited about. Or on Singleton, Jeff Weimer, Michael Clay, Jordan Walker, Jamori Robinson. We got guys on the list that I think I don't want to say overrated, but they're highly rated, and some are maybe a little underrated. So let's get into this, guys, and I'll get over to the Rivals. Let's see, where would it be? Do I still have it? Did I erase it? I might have erased it. There's so many screens open. It's insane right here. So, all right. So what I'll do is I'll go right back to it. No big deal. Not a hard thing to do. Oh, there it is right there. I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay. Let's get back over to it. Sorry, guys. Too many screens open. So this is the 2025 transfer team rankings for Rivals. And LSU number 1, Ole Miss number 2, Texas Tech number 3, Missouri number 4, UCLA number 5, Kentucky number 6, North Carolina number 7, Florida State number 8, Virginia and West Virginia tied at number 9, which is funny because we were also tied at number 11. I don't know why they're keeping us tied again, but so if you look at West Virginia, what they've got so much different than everybody else. So obviously LSU 18 commits, Ole Miss 28, Texas Tech 21, Missouri 20, UCLA 26, pretty high. UK 22, North Carolina 29 is pretty high. Florida State 19, Virginia 24, West Virginia 50. And it's not even close. Nobody else approaches it on the list until you get way down to Southern Miss at 42. And look, got to respect what coach is doing coming over there from Marshall. Top 40 for Southern Miss. He's got them right back in the mix. But I mean 50 guys. So it's kind of like how we've seen teams in the high school rankings in the past go from to the side of the top 10, but it's been based off of just how many good players they brought in, not many elite players, but really good players. And so I think personally, there are a couple players that they've missed on this list. I know they have. So it makes me feel good about the list because there's so many players on it that let's say they just hit on 25% of these guys. That's not terrible, right? Would you like to hit on more? Absolutely. But I mean, would you hit on 25, you've got, give or take 10 or 15 players that are really good on the list. So, I mean, you want to have 10 or 15 good players on a football team, that's pretty good. So, I think there's a shot for West Virginia to compete. We might have 3 or 4 guys on each side of the ball that are dogs. I mean, with this many players, there's a good shot we're gonna. And so I'm going to highlight on this episode a few guys that I think that are flying under the radar a little bit. And look, my usual suspects, that my Ben Bogle, guys like that, Chase Wilson, those guys you all know about. If you watch this show very often, like there are certain guys that go to bat for a lot. Ben Bogle, Chase Wilson, love those two, linebacker a lot as far as portal acquisitions coming in. So, and then obviously Michael Coates, like those guys are obvious names. So we're going to look at some, I didn't break down some of these guys on film whenever we first started this. So I thought, you know what? A couple of these guys, while they're really good, I want to just look at their tape again. And so that's what we're going to do here in this first segment. We got a couple of minutes. We'll do the first one. We'll go to a break and then we'll start back on the next one. The very first guy I want to look at, because I haven't broken this down in a while, is got to be my dude, Man. Because, look, guys, I think that this right here is by far, by a million miles, one of the most underrated players that we've gotten so far, to the point to where I don't understand why people don't talk about him more. I'm truly like, just the tape is something else. Like this kid is a 4.3 kid, by the way. First of all, if you didn't know this, so I have a buddy whose son plays for Eastern Michigan, defensive tackle. He went to Ironton, Ohio. He played with Man last year, and he was telling me how Man was timing into the low 4.3s, during their 40s, and it shows up on tape. And not only that, but he is an elite route runner at certain routes. He doesn't run them all elite, but he's got a couple because of his speed. He absolutely dog walks and destroys people. I asked some people about this kid, how he did during the spring. I think he's getting his feet under him a little bit, moving up a level. It's obvious that he's really fast. So let's see. I'm hoping that he makes another jump in the spring, in the summer, because I really think that if Man Singleton's playing well, he's got a chance to be a superstar for us guys, truthfully. So let's check out his tape, and you'll see. If you haven't checked this guy's tape out, be prepared to be capital wowed, because it's truly like, of all the transfers, and that includes Jamori Robinson, guys, this player here really is on a kind of another level. So let's watch some Man Singleton here, as I love watching this kid on tape. All right, so here he is in the slot right here. As you can see, he just runs by this guy. It's not even close. He's just got such great speed. The camera doesn't do it a lot of justice on this one, but it's still pretty clear. I like that it's that angle. I like it's that camera, though, because I know it's not ESPN ready to come get me. The camera's going crazy. So here he is again. uh, in the slot up here. A little stop and go action, and he's gone. And he's gone. So, like that one too. But at some of these routes where he gets people to bite on the under, here's one. Here's one. Watch the fake on this one, guys. No, it's not this one. My apologies. But as you can see, he can turn nothing into something as he's just gone. And he's a great return guy as well. Like he returns kicks, he returns punts. He does a little bit of everything, man, and really impressive when you watch him. So let's see here. Is this, and you know what I'm just noticing too? This may not be Eastern Michigan tape. Let's go back out of this. Let's go up to this one here. No, this one. Let's go to this one really quick because this one's got the one I wanted you to see anyways. That must have been his high school stuff, and that's my apologies. Wasn't paying much attention. I know this isn't the best screen. There's a layout catch. There's a couple routes I want you to see. This next one up, here's the one. So watch this route he puts on, dude, right here, and the speed with it. This is him right here. He just splits two players up the field. He's gone. So watch him split these two players here up the field, gone, and watch how far behind everybody is. He has to come back for the ball. But I mean, a quarterback with a strong arm and it's no shot. Here he is on a bubble screen, and you see he's got the athleticism, the moves to make people miss. Love seeing that. Here he is, nice catch out of bounds. Love seeing that as well. Here he is down the sidelines on a nice catch, really nice catch out of bounds. And the good thing about man as well is you can play him inside, you can play him outside. But look at the yards after the catch and look at that move there. So as you can see, he starts way inside here and bounces it outside on a linebacker, some mismatch. And it's the move after the catch. And he gets upfield in such a hurry. Love watching that. So man Singleton's a player, guys, that I really think can come in and make a huge impact for West Virginia. And I don't know if he's going to be a day one starter or not, but I do think he's going to make an impact at some place, at some level. Kickoff, punt, like here he is again. Like he just really fast, that's probably his best quality. But then I think his second best is his ability to cut. He's really good with the ball in his hands, and that's what makes him an effective return man as well. So really rooting for this kid. I think he's got a chance to really, and here he is on punt. This is what he does really well. If he's not in the, see, look how quick he is. He caught that thing and he was gone in a hiccup. I love the way he's just able to get by guys with those juke moves, man. And there's some balance, contact balance. But I mean, once he gets his feet up under him, he doesn't have the acceleration like Tavon, because I know I compare everybody to Tavon. I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't compare people to Tavon, but Tavon's like for me on acceleration, Tavon got to full speed in one step. It's just rare to see. But I think this guy here gets there in maybe 2.5 at the very least, really fast. So man's got to come in, a chance to come in and make a big impact for West Virginia, I think. So big fan of his, if you can't tell. And it'll be fun to see just how much of an impact he makes for West Virginia this upcoming season. So let's go to break really quick. We got a couple more guys to watch. We got Michael Clay, we got Jamoy Robinson, Jeff Weimer, Jordan Walker, who I think a lot of people haven't talked about. There's two separate publications that have him ranked second, right behind Jamoy Robinson for us in the transfer class. Like he's dang near a 4-star player for 247. I think on 3. I have to go back and check, but Jordan Walker is a very highly rated player that I don't think a lot of people know about. And so is the other kid, Scuda. So, but anyways, we'll be back, guys. Let's go to break. We'll be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by Monarch Money. Guys, did you ever look at your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment? It's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money does come in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in just one place. So you can stop managing your money and start building your wealth. If you want that all-in-one convenience instead of juggling multiple apps, you Cash App, you got PayPal, you've got all these different things, you got Venmo. You can use Monarch Money to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for half off your very first year. Let's crack a 10:30 do in segment 2, and it's ice cold, and I want no judgment. It's judgment free. It says it right on the bottle. Hey, I've been getting called fat in the comments all day today, man. I think people think that it really bothers me when they do that, but I don't. It doesn't. It truly doesn't. Like, you think if I was self-conscious about my size, do you think I'd get up here and boast about drinking Mountain Dew, all the different things I do every day? Like, I really don't care, but like people still come at me. There was a lot of people mad about the Jalen Henderson interview yesterday. By the way, it's performed extremely well on podcast. Really well done. I mean, we've got thousands of hits on there, thousands of views on YouTube, hundreds of comments, guys. You guys have really helped with that video. So I just want to say thank you for, coming out to showing out for that, because it was stressful for me yesterday. It's just a negotiation, like, the NIL portion of it, it's stressful. Like, I just wish it could be, come on, do an interview. And it wasn't anything to do with Jalen or the family or anything like that. It was just the process in general. I don't know. I just like doing the interview. I wish I could hire somebody to do all the other stuff. Maybe I will be able to someday. Thanks, Tosh. Yeah, everybody has different perspectives on it. I think that West Virginia is getting docked on 247 for having 50 transfers. And also, here's another thing to consider, Tosh. Ben Bogle, not even ranked. There's other guys on there that are not even ranked. So I don't think that's fair, because I think West Virginia has done their job of evaluating some of these players. Now, some of these guys are a little bit, I don't want to say, they're taking chances on a couple of these guys. So I understand that. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that Ben Bogle isn't, listen, man, I've seen 10 to 15 guys that Ben Bogle should have absolutely, there's no way he should be unranked, is what I'm saying. So, like there's a couple players that we went and got that aren't ranked, that should be ranked, that this coaching staff did a really good job evaluating, just like they did the first time when Richrod was here. Like we mentioned it multiple times, Jeremy Sheppy was a defensive end. They turned into an all-conference guard. Steve Slate was a DB that played running back. Pat White was a wide receiver that played quarterback slash safety. So, we do it unconventionally here. I love it personally. I think it's a little over the top this first time because it's the first year. I don't think it'll stay that way. So I wouldn't look too much into the big jump between rankings there. Rivals has got us ranked number 9. That's what I care about, right? That's what I'm promoting this video off of. So, and look, Rivals is very respected, right? I would say they're either number 1 or number 2. So some people say 247. Some people might say Rivals. And now On3 and Rivals are combining, so you're going to have both those systems in one. So they might actually overtake the number 1 spot together. So, okay, so let's watch a little bit more tape, guys. That's what we like to do, right? We like to have fun watching that. Thank you, Raven, for being in the chat. Thank you, Shaq. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you guys for this nice microphone, by the way. Yeah, I appreciate that, Drum Wolf. Thank you. For those of you listening on podcasts, there are people talking to me in chat, giving me words of encouragement for just some things people call me from time to time just to be mean. So I know it's sometimes sounds a little bit out of context for you, those of you that are just only listening. So I do apologize. Up next, guys, I want to look at somebody that I think a lot of us haven't had a chance to check out yet as I rewind what I was watching earlier. So Michael Clay, Michael, he tried to send me a voice message the other day. on how to say his voice or on how to say his first name, and it just wouldn't come through. It was the funniest interaction because it's the only interaction we've had. Like, I think he was trying to tell me, like, hey, you're saying it wrong, and I've been saying Mickle, so I'm going to start saying Michael until further notice. It could be something else, I don't know, but so let's look at the big offensive tackle. He played right tackle at North Alabama, and guys, I haven't had a chance to do any tape study on Michael until today outside of highlights. Okay. So there's for me, I can look at any player's highlights and fall in love. It's the kind of fan I am. If it's not my team, it's a little bit different because I think there's just something to me being a fan of the team that makes me want to believe in the players more. So I have to watch full game footage to kind of make me a little more even keel because you see the bad. And this guy here, he's got a chance to start for us. I hadn't had a chance to look, and now I see why he's getting such high praise from so many people inside the walls. Like, you've even heard Chris Anderson say that he's a much big, like Chris Anderson from over 247 said he believes he's a much bigger pickup than people are realizing. So, because a lot of those SEC guys that came in kind of still in the show, right? But you look at Michael Clay, 6'5, 320 pounds, and an athlete, guys. Watch this guy move around and really strong at the point of attack. When he gets his hands on guys, they go flying. Watch this punch. So obviously that's a perfectly legal hand placement, but then just the leverage, right? So that's a nice play. You'll take that a lot. Here he is again up against number 5'5". He just takes him to the ground, which is perfect. That's what you want. That'll work. Here he is again. I think he gets out in space here. Watch the athleticism, guys, as he runs out in space. So he chips, and then he runs, and he stays with the block. There he is making another block. Pretty nice. And you see more and more his athleticism as this tape rolls on. See how quickly he gets outside there. Very nicely done. His kick step is really nice. I think he gets back quickly. So, one thing I will say is I saw on a couple plays, like you kind of saw it there at the end of this play, but it's not – this guy is not going to be the guy to do it to him. So at the end of not this play, it was the last play. But anyway, so every now and again, you'll see him he can be taken advantage of on some speed to power. So what speed to power is it's when an edge rusher uses speed and in the middle of the speed rush transitions into a full bull rush. What a bull rush is, most people would say, is you get leverage, you get underneath somebody's pads, you lock out your arms, and you drive them back into the quarterback, and then you either shed off and go after the quarterback, or you'll literally just drive him back into the quarterback and just create chaos. And a lot of times there's just two different types of technique to guard against speed rushing and bull rushing. And obviously to guard against the speed rush, you have to do something that kind of opens you up for a bull rush, right? And so the best offensive tackles are able to anchor whenever that bull rush comes. They may take 2 or 3 steps back, but you got to think the guy's rushing at you at an angle, sometimes full speed head on. They've got all the momentum in the world, and so the best tackles in the world are able to anchor and then bend and keep people from getting back there, right? Because you're going to give some ground up. It's going to happen, especially at the Power 4 level. So what happens with Michael sometimes, I've seen at least so far, is every now and again he'll get taken advantage of that way, but that doesn't mean that he's unable to deal with it. It just sometimes you get caught off guard with it as well. Like, if you get like, it's just like anybody. If for instance, I'm 380 pounds. If I was off balance and Raven in the chat kept pushing me, she could probably push me down, right? Because I'm off balance. So similarly with the tackle or guard, anybody, if you're off balance, man, it's over with. You're kind of in bad shape. There are some really good ones like Larry Allen. You look at like Ogden, guys like that in the past who you can see them go off balance and they're still able to anchor and keep a guy, but it's very rare. So here he is. You can see him get to the outside, and there's an example of see how he anchored in right there. Nice job. He gave up a little bit of ground here to the edge rusher here on the right side, but watch. So that's a speed rush. But then look, boom, into power. That's exactly what this exactly great, perfect. This is exactly what I was trying to tell you guys just now. So watch this player come off in a speed edge. He's trying to chop, right? He's trying to get around him, and then he transitioned into a push, right? So this is what you call speed to power. Speed to power. He's trying to drive him back, but he anchors in right there. Don't always go that way for him that I've seen. That's his only flaw that I've been able to see on tape, honest to God. So there he is. There's another attempt at speed to power. So it's not like he didn't face it, but it's going to be interesting to see. See, that's just a speed rush. Very good job. He's good against the speed rush. He's a good athlete. That's what he does. I'm just going to be interested to see on the power side of things how he does. So, and you know what? The thing too, I would say is, the way that we run offense, they're not going to be. Now that's a beautifully done play. You know how hard it is to get inside of a guy like that. See, like this guy, like he did a good job. They shifted over at the last minute. Now he's on his inside hip. Like he would have much rather preferred that guy be out here, right? Because the play's going this way, and he's got to get inside this guy. So it takes some athleticism to be able to do this. See, he's already starting off at a disadvantage, but look how he gets inside of this player here and is able to turn him up, and the running back's got a hole. So that's beautifully done. That's all him that he made that play. So very nice. Michael Clay is a good player, guys. I think I would not be shocked if he ends up with one of these starting jobs. It could be at any three guard, center, or tackle, not center, but guard or tackle. Either one of the guard spots or a tackle spot. So he's going to be fun to watch as we continue along down this path. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my breakdown there. Hopefully it made some sense. Yep. All right, so let's go to one more break really quick. It's not a long one, and then we'll look at a couple more guys. I won't break as much play to play down. We'll just watch a couple guys. This is Locked On West Virginia. We'll be right back. Okay, guys. So appreciate you for joining in. This is a fun episode for me. Let's take another 10 minutes or so and look at a couple more guys on West Virginia's roster that, are going to make impacts, I think. We just watched Michael Clay, who I think absolutely has the potential to be a starting offensive lineman for us next year. There's a bunch of bodies in that room, and it's going to be really interesting. I don't think anybody can nail down the five, right? You might be able to say Livingston at center. You might be able to say Cray's going to win one of the jobs on the offensive line right now. But outside of that, it's kind of wide open. I don't know about Bosley because I've been told different things. I've heard he's been injured, so I want to get because I had him penciled in, before the year, and I still think that he's got a shot to be that. I want to see what the summer brings because Xavier Bosley was an All-American in this offense. I don't see how it's fallen off. I still believe in him. So for those of you that hasn't seen the Jamori Robinson cut up here, it's as impressive a cut up as you're going to see. He is a monster. Number one play. He's the number one player in our portal class. He is a 4-star player. We're probably paying him probably $1 million, if not $1 million plus. He is an NFL player. When he decides to leave college, he'll go to the NFL. I don't know what round he'll be drafted in or anything like that. As things stand, let's fast forward past the ESPN one. As things stand, though, I think Mid round is probably a good spot for him for now. That's why he's come to West Virginia though, to hopefully improve that. I think he's absolutely got the potential for double digit sacks. On because this defense is going to suit him so well, guys. Super aggressive, and he does it all, man. Speed to power, speed, power. He can do them both individually. He's an incredible athlete. Like he truly is an absolute monster. So, it's going to be really fun to see how he impacts West Virginia this year. And he'll be probably one of the captains that goes up to speak for Big 12 Media Days, unless Richrod wants to protect him, perhaps. So, unfortunately, there's more tape on him, but it's a little dicey for me to play it because it's it's all kind of protected against. There's a lot of copyright going on because of ESPN and stuff. So, but if you want to see Jamori Robinson, just go look him up on YouTube. He's an elite pass rusher, and certainly is going to be, in my opinion, maybe the most impactful player on the defense this year. He's certainly got a shot. And I really enjoy watching his tape, man. It's fun. Let's get over here to Jordan Walker. Let's dedicate a little time to a safety from Chattanooga, right? UT Chattanooga that, I don't think a lot of people have watched any tape on. Let's just be honest. I have, and I did when he first committed. And when we're going to watch some again here. So he plays safety, and he is a rangy, athletic player with great hands. Look at this first play. You want to talk about a wow factor? Look at this very first play from him. Here he is. He's pretty much out of the play. Comes into the play, high points the ball over the receiver. Nice play. Look how much higher up he is. He's a full head and shoulder above the receiver. So you want to talk about an athletic safety, probably got a 30-plus inch, 35-inch vertical going right there. And just really great high point the ball there. That tells you right off the bat, okay, this kid's an athlete. Look at that play. Just absolutely dog walked him. Beautiful hit. Just the picture perfect form, right? So you've got head on the outside, no helmet to helmet, perfectly done, driving through the football. That's what you want to see these days. You don't see it enough. Here he is. Look at the pursuit angle, guys. Look, you know what I say all the time? I didn't even know where he was to start that play. But when he came into the frame, it was obvious it was him because he's the best athlete on the field. Check it out. This reverse comes. Watch him. He diagnoses the play. This is him coming. I know that now. I didn't know it for another second until I saw how fast he was moving. Watch the pursuit angle. Watch the hit. And watch him arrive angry. Boom. Nice. And he spun. Very well done. Look at that play. Not getting too excited. You're about to pick the ball. About to pick the ball. About to pick the ball. A lot of guys get excited in this situation. So he's on the back end of this route, but he takes advantage of the bad throw by the quarterback and undercuts the route, right? So he's on this ball should be out here somewhere, right? Where the green grass is. Instead, it's not. This guy's got to slow down for it, and it's basically thrown to him. But it's still, it's still kind of out in front of the. If there was nobody there, I guess the receiver would have caught it. But, very nice play. So he's got some recovery speed here. That's what I see, anyways. Like, watch him diagnose this play from jump. So here he is. Watch, he'll follow the quarterback. I think he steps out a little bit, or maybe his eyes move. He starts to go with that, and he just catches up to the ball. Just look at the reaction time and the athleticism here. So the tight end comes through, he sees it right here. He's on it. Watch when this guy splits through. Just watch him turn on the jets and get up underneath this thing. That's very nicely done. That's very impressive to me. So I like watching that. Here he is again, and a great drop. Just perfect. a perfect drop. This kid can play, man. I can see why so many people have him highly rated as they do. Look at that. I mean, this guy comes up angry on the run, and he doesn't miss many tackles either on film. You know, oh, holy cow, dude. Look at that hit. Hold on a second. They didn't leave that one on long enough. Look at this hit. There he is right there. Let's see if we can back it up just a second. Yeah. So there he is. He come in the frame right there. Watch him arrive angry, man. What a hit he puts on this dude here. Boom. Get out of bounds. There he is to run support. And this guy's a hell of an athlete. I mean, do you guys see how fast this is him. He's not supposed to make this play. They are. These three are. These four are. Savvy player. Not afraid to get involved in the run game. I like this kid a lot, man. I probably should have been talking about him more, but there's just so many players, guys, to keep track of. I mean, there's probably two or three I forgot about, you know? I mean, but this dude is a very good athlete. Like that's what jumps off the screen to me more than anything is that he's absolutely a power poor athlete. He's a better athlete than everybody he's on the field with. It's not even close. Look at this. I mean, you could tell it's going to end bad just by his reputation with us. But I mean, when he decides he's going head hunting, here he is. When he decides he's going head hunting, he's coming. And man, does he wrap up nicely. Yeah, a lot to like about this kid for sure, guys. So Jordan Walker, UT Chattanooga, I think we're lucky to have him. And this is another one of those ones where, is he highly rated as he should be? I think is a fair question. Did he play against great talent? That's a fair criticism. Absolutely. But I mean, can you look at this film here and absolutely evaluate this player and say that he could project as a power forward player? Hell yeah, you can, man. So big ups to Jordan Walker. Looking forward to seeing him in a Mountaineer uniform this season. And he's going to get some snaps, guys. There's no doubt. I don't know, it's too hard to say if anybody's going to be a starter at this point. Let's just keep it real. But I mean, this kid is very talented, no doubt. So I can see why they, Zach Alley, because they want this aggressive downhill style defense that plays the run well, but also comes up and hits on those receivers like we've seen him knocking guys out of bounds. You've seen Fred Perry can do that. Like, this is going to be a hard-hitting defense. I don't know when it's going to come together and gel. It'd be great if it was in week 3, though, right? I think we can get by with a few mistakes week 1 for sure. Week 2, we got to kind of get it together a little bit more. And then week 3, hopefully things come together like they should. So, all right, I got 2 more on here. We're going to try to get to them really quick. Jeff Weimer, who I love as a receiver, guys. Whenever he committed to West Virginia, I fell in love with him. I think he is very underrated in this class as well. You look as from a size perspective, he's 6'2". He's 210, 220 pounds. So I'm going to let you see this. So this is him running routes in this, just a few days ago. This is a 6'2" guy, and he can move, and he runs beautiful routes. That's what I like about him the most. So he really cuts well, in and out of breaks well. I wouldn't say he's elite at any one thing, at least, so far, but like he's very good. And man, does he have a lot of production? I think he's got what did he have last year? Was it 1,200 yards receiving or something like that? Like it was a lot, and they were a good football team at Idaho State. And he's what his best attribute is. He's a route runner, and he gets behind guys, man, with route running. He's not slow by any means, but it's routes that gets him his yards. Like See if I can find one here. I thought there was some. Actually, I think if you go back to his profile where I was, that's what I was there for. Let's see. I thought so. No, not that one. Not that one. I know there's a couple on here. I just got to find them. There was a couple. So let's see. Not seeing it though. I know they're on here. It's just there's so much on here to look at sometimes, man. It's easy to get uh get a little bit distracted with it. So there's Rick Weimer. Who would have known the great Rick Weimer? I guess that must be a relative of his. So okay, well, I don't want to spend all day looking for his tape here, but I thought for sure there was more on here from him. Yeah, I guess I didn't have it set up like I thought it did. So that's his senior year stuff, but that's not going to help now. He's grown a ton since then. Well, my apologies on that, guys. I guess all we had was the workout tape. We'll move on from him for now. I'll have more Jeff Weimer stuff on the next one. That was my bad on that. So let's go to the last one then. And I think you guys all be happy with this one because this is Ty Edwards. I really like this running back, and I don't know why they went out and got a bunch more. I know like Richrod wants a lot of bodies in that room just so you can at least have at least two that hit, where it's Knighton, whether it's obviously Jaheim, whether it's Cannon Katzer, whether that's anybody else. Obviously, the kid we got from JUCO the other day, Sincere Bowers, won't be until next year, I found out. So very likely, unless his credits situation gets better in a hurry. So, I think Ty Edwards has got a great shot. Clocked at 22 miles an hour, by the way, on a run this year. Has a chance to be very good for us, possibly great. I think there's a lot of tools there at 6'3", 220 pounds, very much like CJ. But he's got more speed than CJ, and more acceleration than CJ. But I wouldn't say that he's better than CJ. I just think, that's the line scrimmage. He's just a little bit better.
Ty Edwards back in. He gets the carry.
This is the run, by the way. I think he hit 22 miles an hour on. So this run, he hits 22 miles an hour on. Pretty good for a guy his size. And you can see it too. I mean, that's moving for a guy his size. So, is there a world where he comes in and lights it up for us? I think absolutely. There he is receiving the ball out of the backfield. So, I've just thought, I want to put a couple guys on here. I mean, look at this athletic ability, guys, at 6'3", 220 pounds. It's truly shocking. Look at that move. You want us to talk about a cut? Look at this cut. Oh, my God. I hadn't seen that one yet. Watch him. How did he do this? How did he do this at 6'3", 220 pounds? This is like Tavon in the Oklahoma game, where he just cuts the dude out in the end zone, or he just jukes the dude out in the end zone, and he just gives up on the play. Watch this cut he puts on. Is it 22 or 10? One of these two guys. He sets him up like he's going to bounce outside, and then just rips that thing inside. I mean, it's one heck of a juke. Whoa. I want to watch that one more time in full speed. I hadn't caught that one before, but that's really good. Holy cow. What a move. You got, I'm stuttering now. I get excited too easy. You got a guy that can cut like that at his size, inside and out. I thought he was a little bit more straight line than that, but I mean, he's showing here. There it is again. There's another great little cut that doesn't really show up unless you watch it a couple times. But watch this cut into the inside here from him. So obviously this right here, that cut he put on dude right there. So, I mean, it's not nothing crazy good, but I mean, it's a nice little cut to the inside that makes dude miss. And look at this speed here. I don't know, man. If he gets enough touches, there's no doubt that he can make a big impact, right? I mean, look at this. This is one of those guys that can end up being a real big hidden gem for us. And I liked him when we got him. It's not like this is brand new. It's just, it's been so many months since I've seen all this. I mean, look, if he doesn't have if he's not the number as of right now, as of things stand right now, I love Jalen Knighton. I really do. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he wins the number 2 job. Would you? Based on all this, you know, there's got to be a reason they went out and got all these other backs. And that doesn't mean he's not good, though. And, it doesn't mean he's not good. Jaheim White's been injured. Jalen Knighton's coming off an injury. So it's not like everybody's perfect here. Obviously, he was playing at FCS right here. But holy cow, guys, Ty Edwards is a freak athlete, isn't he? So, like I said, there's a reason this transfer portal class is ranked 9th. So I think, we'll see where it ends up. But at the end of the day, there's a lot to like. There's a lot of talent incoming from here that maybe isn't AJ Halsey that just went to LSU, a guy that everybody wanted? No. But I think this staff has evaluated players that they see fit to bring into the program. And even though we don't have a ton of power 4 guys like at the receiver spot or even running back spot, man, we got them on the offensive line. And I think we got skill talent that is power 4 capable. So it's going to be fun to watch this all happen and come together. Too bad we don't have all these players for 2 years, because I think you could really build something special then. But it's going to be fun to watch, guys. I appreciate you for joining me on this one. Let me go dig in some tape for an episode, and we're way over. So thank you guys for joining in on this. I'll be back tomorrow. Sorry about the late one here tonight. I was hoping we had some news. It's, I might have to come up with some get creative as we hit the off season, because the portal off season, because I think things are about to really slow down, and the good old days of being able to report on people visiting and committing are about to be over. So we'll figure it out, though. It's going to be fine. Even if we have to do something like this every night, we'll figure it out. I appreciate you guys very much. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. If you could do me a big favor, though, before you leave, guys, do me a favor and make Locked On NFL Draft your next show. Damian Parson, Keith Sanchez, they do it big. As your favorite collegiate players get ready for the next level, get the latest draft rankings, rumors, and news every day. Find Locked On NFL Draft on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Well, it's nighttime, isn't it? Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out of here.